Going on, everyone? Moose here, Airguns, Michigan, and man, it is Monday Night Live. Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend, got out and did some shooting, and I did. Not a lot, but I did. I did a little bit of shooting, just a little, but I did get a chance to go up and visit my good friend Tom up at High Pressure Pneumatics, and we had a good, busy Saturday hanging out. The shop was buzzing to say the least. Let's see here. Let's get some music going in the background. There we go. What's going on? So, with that being said, like I said, hopefully you guys got a chance to get out and do some shooting and enjoying your weekend. And I see we got somebody that joined. Who joined us? I wish this thing would tell us like splash names, like, hey, so and so joined us. Then it'd be easier to welcome people into the live. Mike's backyard. What's going on? What's going on? Man alive. Crazy. What up, Mark Reese? What's going on? Trying to think if I grabbed the things that I was going to talk about today. Nah, apparently I didn't. That's all right. We'll play it we'll play along with it as we go. Let me answer this text real quick. And having a little bit of fun along the way. So if you guys, anybody that's joined, if you have not signed up for the AccelCon giveaway, go back in my channel and look up the June AccelCon MX7S giveaway and make sure that you guys enter in for that. That's going to be a great giveaway. Somebody's going to end up with a great little squirrel and pesting gun. That's for sure. Did you guys get out and do any shooting this weekend or today? Or I actually did some shooting today, and I need to get out to the range. I picked up a compact Maverick over the weekend, and I need to get out and get that thing sighted in. Joe Nolan said his Tanto came in today, but it had the wrong adapter. G-Man, Moose, you better have your new Maverick compact close. I do. It's sitting right over there. Scored a free gun cabinet that holds 5 guns, and it's handmade. Sweet. Joe, what happened with your Tanto? What adapter do you need? My wife is messaging me. My son decided at 4 o'clock he was going to bed. He was burned out and tired and freaking lights out, man. He was done. And apparently my wife, she said he's up now, but she tried to wake him up, and he got up, turned the light in his bedroom back off, and said, I'm going back to bed, Mom, I love you. Oh, Joe, how's you made a mistake? Send the one for the gauntlet. He'll take care of you. Rob Morris says he turned his Impact 30 cal into a 22 cal today. Sweet. I have a range out the back door. I'm going from 17 out to 200 yards. It was a good day to do that. 2 tins gone. Believe me, I understand that. And what makes it even more crazy is when you start shooting 30 and 35 caliber, and those two tins go like that. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, for sure. So I actually shot my BSA today, and that is 5 pellets at 20 yards. 5 pellets, 20 yards. That was insane. Every one, hole in hole, and blew my mind. Blew my mind how accurate that freaking gun is. Crazy. Did I see or hear that JSP released new knockouts in 177? I did not. Jenna is now a 177 caliber. Sweet. She is a sweet shooting gun. Oh, you guys met on Saturday and had 12 shooters. Good. That's nice. That's really nice. So I know G-Man's not gonna. One of these days I'm gonna get into trouble for showing these guns. But till that day comes, I guess we'll show the compact Maverick with the 580 bottle on her. So I do the bottle because, well, I get more shots. So element helix, green light for nighttime shooting, 25 caliber, and she is rocking and rolling. I'm going to tell you what, definitely a great caliber for that Maverick. Yeah, they also have howlers out in 177 now. And to be honest, I'm a Nielsen fan through and through. And if I'm going to shoot slugs out of a 177, it's going to be those howlers or something that Nielsen makes. But the knockouts are good. Nothing the matter with them, that's for sure. So my HW97K blue laminate was ordered today. Thank you, Tom, High Pressure Pneumatics. That is on its way. I am super excited for that. I did see Hajimoto's review of the new gauntlet today. And part of me, I don't know. Part of me thinks it's cool, but I got a 25 caliber gauntlet that hasn't come off the wall in probably 4 months. For any reason. It just sits there. And it's kind of crazy. What's up, Lou? Pizza's in the house. Good to see you, Lou. Good to see you. So yeah, I just I don't know how I feel about, like, I know, and I look at that and I say, man, I'd like to have one, but then I think, what am I going to use it for? So it's a sharp looking gun, and the numbers, the speeds are impressive. Definitely impressive. So it's definitely a gun to be on the lookout for. I'd like to see what the price point's going to be before I go out and make a decision on whether or not I'm going to buy one or not. But yeah, $449. Yeah, and you know, honestly, for those speeds, that's an insanely good price. That thing is putting out, yeah, absolutely, it's putting out some serious power for sure. Turn this music down a little bit more. But I'll tell you, this year, I think we're going to see some pretty impressive guns being released towards the end of the year. But I'll tell you what, I think next year is going to be the year of massiveness. I just think that there's a lot of really cool things on the horizon that, I mean, I'm really interested to see what happens. I'd really like to see Air Arms and Vyrock come out with some new stuff. I've been really paying a lot of attention to those two companies lately, and I don't know. I just like to see them like step it up a little bit, see if they can't come out with something new and improved. I've got that 97 coming, and I'm already looking at the Vortex upgrade kit for it. Apparently, you get higher velocities. What's going on? Phil Sullivan's in the house, and we'll show Phil in case he wasn't here. But this is the gun that we picked up over the weekend. This is the compact Maverick. I did add the bigger bottle to it. Well, actually, I already had this Omega bottle, so I didn't actually purchase it or anything. But 25 cal, and she is shooting lights out. Lights out. Mark Reese says the Air Force with a multi-shot 45 caliber. I was just working on my Texan 45 cal today. I bought some new adapters for my bipod for my Texan. I was using the UTG Picatinny to dovetail mounts, and I wasn't having very good luck with them. And so I ended up going to a different company and found one that works really well. Steady One says he just ordered a Zabria Sapson 25. That's 300 bar fill. Yeah, high pressure pneumatics just got in the Sapson in 25 caliber, and I was seriously contemplating that gun, and then the Maverick won out to it. But that's an amazing gun, and they're very well made. Very, very well made. I think you're going to really enjoy that. That is the Maverick, Phil. Yep. Now, that's the second Maverick I've owned. Of course I did, G-Man. You don't think I follow Lou? Of course I follow Lou. But, as a matter of fact, next Sunday, I'm going up to Isabella County for an egg shoot. And I'm going to be taking the Maverick, and I'm going to be taking the Impact in 30 cal. And I'm going to take George with whole targets, and he's going to be shooting my Maverick, and we're going to shoot the egg shoot. So right on, Lou. So brake barrels often have a break-in time, few hundred shots. They seem to find their groove with proper pellet. Do PCP have this characteristics also? No, not really. There is a small, it depends upon the gun, but barrel leading is something that, a great starter gun for under $700, the Benjamin Marauder is a great gun to go with. There's a lot of other guns as well you can get into for that price range as well, Phil. Shoot, you can pick up some really good deals on some used guns as well. Like you could probably even find a Zabria for around 800, newish or new. And they're really nice guns as well. But honestly, for $450 to $500, the Benjamin Marauder is a great gun. But it depends upon what you want to do with it. I mean, if you want to shoot, 100-yard bench rest and, you know, get into that, I would probably lean more towards something with a little bit more power. But I can definitely send you a whole list of different guns, Phil. That matter of fact, I'm on the high pressure pneumatic site. Let's see here. Let's go down and see what he has available in that 700-ish. Let's see here. He's got a Zabria Hortensia. Nope, that's out of stock. I'll tell you what, the Air Venturi Avenger for $4 1/4, the wood stock, that is a great job. And you would not be disappointed with that. So, but like I said, Phil, it really depends upon what you're looking to do with it. I mean, if you're looking for, you know, something just to shoot out in the backyard, you know, 50 yards or less, then that opens up a different range of guns that you could look at. But if you're looking to get into that longer distance shooting, you know, that's when you start looking at maybe some used guns, just to kind of get into that kind of range anyway. And also it depends upon if you're looking for like PCP, or if you're looking for like a break barrel, or you're looking for like a CO2 gun. You know, I mean, CO2s aren't going to be, so just for plinking, I mean, a good break barrel, like I just bought an HW 97, and I think it was 681, about 680. You don't need an external air source. You know, it's just a simple cocking of a lever, put a pellet in it, close the breech, shoot the gun. I actually bought mine to do some squirrel hunting with. It's perfect for 50 yards or so, and you know, 25 to 50 yards, 20 to 50 yards. But the like I said, the Air Venturi Avenger, you know, great gun that's definitely capable of 100 yards. You know, so, but can also shoot 50 yards, and it's adjustable, but you need an air source. So you're either going to hand pump it, or you're going to buy a compressor, or you're going to buy a compressor and a tank. Do not buy a Hudson flash. No. Definitely ixnay on the hell no A. Definitely not. Yeah, 22 is a great round all around, and you're gonna get 500 in a tin for 22, as opposed to like these are 30 calibers, and well, there's nothing in this one, but there's only 150 for the same price. So 22s, you're gonna get a big tin of 500, and you know. Because Phil is a very good friend of mine, and I would not put Phil into a Hudson for a first air gun. Definitely not the right way to go. It's just not the right one, Roy. I know everybody's got an opinion on the flash, guys. I get it. But just, I would steer way clear. I mean, honestly, the Avenger is going to be, honestly, a great gun. Or, What's up from the UK? Jake from overseas. Yeah, it is, man. It is one of those to each his own. I can tell you this, that I own 4 Hotsons. And I remember when I was getting into PCPs and getting into air guns, and somebody once told me, they were like, you know, before you go out and buy just one of every gun, take your time and do your research and shoot, you know, other people's guns. So I bought 4 Hotsons. I have not had the best of luck with any of my Hotsons. I'm not saying that they're terrible guns. They're not. They, you know, they do fine. They, you know, they have a decent price point. But as soon as I bought a Benjamin Marauder, my Hotson sat on the wall. Like, I never touched them again. I shot the Marauder because the trigger is way far superior. My accuracy was better. And exactly, it's kind of like Gammo, you know. So exactly, some people love them and some people just. And listen, I'm not saying that Hotsons are bad guns. I mean, I've got 2 of them sitting right here in front of me. But if, you know, and as an air gun reviewer and as somebody who owns a ridiculous amount of air guns and has shot most of the Hotson stuff, I just don't feel like they're, I don't know, they're just not, there's better guns out there for the money. Like, honestly, I would buy a Crawl before I'd buy another Hotson. So, but there's, like I said, you know, to each his own. You know, everybody's got their own budget and everybody's got their own, what they consider as accurate. You know, I mean, you know, accuracy is in the eye of the beholder, right? I mean, in the hands of the right guy, you know, exactly. Some people like Fords, some people like Chevys, you know. Yeah, Tim, I agree, man. As a matter of fact, I've never even owned a Gammo. I've shot a few Gammos, very inaccurate guns, but, you know, as far as what I've shot, you know, especially, well, because every Gammo I've shot has been a Magnum brake barrel. So I know that a lot of that is the way you hold the gun and, you know, and things like that. But, yeah, it's just like my Bull Boss. Like, everything on it is just gritty. I mean, it's not something that, it's like that on all of them, you know. Hotson pulls a lot in because of price point. They do, absolutely. Absolutely, they do. They cram a lot of stuff in there to get that price point where people are comfortable spending that kind of money. Steady One says this Hotson Neutron Star was a poor man's crown, and I still sold it. Yeah, and you know, and that's what it boils down to. Is I look at it more from a user-friendly. What do I have to do to this gun to get it to shoot appropriately? You know, like my Bull Boss, like I remember I drooled over that Bull Boss forever, man. I was like, I just want a Bull Boss. I just want a Bull Boss. And then I got the Bull Boss, and when I first got it, I was in love with it. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And then, like I said, I ended up getting a Benjamin Marauder. And at that point, I realized what a good trigger really feels like. And, right. Yeah, Jake, there is a lot of snobbery as well, and I agree. I've had my Marauder 25 for 6 years, and it has always shot perfect, no problem. That's why I want a Maverick. That way I can't that way I can complain. Exactly, Carlos. You know, I mean, I have never shot a Marauder that I didn't just say, holy crap, this thing is amazing. Listen, I've got a Hotson Invader, and I actually like my Invader. I think out of my Hotsons, it's probably the nicest shooting one that I have. But, you know, I just haven't, once again, you know, I mean, trigger is very important, and I don't feel like I should buy a gun that I have to take apart and polish the trigger. Like my Bull Boss needs its trigger polished, and I just haven't found the time to actually do it. But a good trigger is like second to nothing. Like, I mean, if you're not running a great trigger, and then you shoot a great trigger, then you're just like, holy crap. He said he thought his jumbo was a poor man's crown. But, you know, like I said, you know, at the end of the day, listen, at the end of the day, if you're happy with the gun that you have, that's all that matters, right? We don't do this. We don't shoot air guns because we are in competition with each other over what gun is better than what gun. We shoot air guns because we have fun doing it. So whatever gun you're comfortable with, that's what you should be interested in. You know, so, you know, like I said, I mean, I haven't sold any of my Hodsons. You know, it's just, you know, and they're relatively accurate. I mean, I can't really complain that much. But, you know, there's a whole heck of a lot of other guns out there that I would buy before I would buy another Hodson. Anonymous American said trash triggers don't bother him. Yeah, I feel you. They do for me. But I shoot a lot for extreme accuracy. You know, I mean, when I look at accuracy, and, you know, once again, not that's what I look at. I look at 5 shots through the same exact hole. To me, that's accurate. And, you know, and I mean, granted, that's through a BSA, and, you know, not all my guns can do that. The Maverick can. Matthew Kirk says, I just want my Maverick to come in. Well, there you go. You can look at one. Get your buy. This is my compact with the 580 bottle on it. Yeah, Joe, I feel you. Some like Sportsters, some like Softails. Yep, 5 shots, same hole, 20 yards. An RWS 460 coming in the mail. Right on, Dwayne. Yeah, Mike, I'm in the same boat, man. I'm always competing against myself. I don't really care, like, when I shoot against others. Like, I don't think about beating them. I think about beating myself. And it's kind of crazy. Lou says he's used to Pintos, not Ferraris. But, you know, and like I said, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about having fun. You know, I mean, you know, my 1968 Benjamin, or my 1968 Sheridan Blue Streak, you know, that just came in, that I still need to rebuild because it won't hold air, to me is just as fun as shooting my Impact. You know, my Gauntlet is just as fun as shooting my Impact. You know, I mean, my Walther Rain, I mean, just name it. They're all around me. Shoot, even the BB guns, you know, they're just so much fun. But Lou, that is true, man. The first time that you feel a good trigger, you're just like, wow. And like I said, I remember the first, you know, my first Benjamin Marauder, and I was just like, wow, that's what people mean by a good first stage and a light second stage break. And now I'm even more spoiled because of the BSA. That BSA has the nicest trigger that you know, that I can, I mean, shake a stick at. Can't see paying $2,000 for an air gun. I don't care if it loads itself. Yeah, Carlos, I've actually got a C9A as well. So I actually have one that does fire in 20 caliber. It's like a late 80s Benjamin C9A, and it's incredibly accurate and just a ton of fun to deal with. Yep. Yeah. And, you know, and the funny thing is, Anonymous American Man, is that, you know, for me, like, I don't care about the cost of a gun. I care about the functionality of a gun. And, you know, and I'll be honest, man, guns like the Umarex Origin and the Air Venturi Avenger and, you know, the gauntlets, those guys are shaking this world up because those guns can get the job done. They're adjustable. They shoot well. They can shoot out to 100 yards. And, you know, it's amazing. So I've not had any problems with triggers except the Blitz. It is hard as semi full auto. Yeah. Moose, I did a video about my Hawk scope caps on the 4 to 16 by 50 AMX, chop or no chop. I don't know what you're speaking of, to be honest with you. So I've only got one Hawk scope, and it's a Sidewinder 4 to 16 by 50 SR2 or SR or Pro SR2. So, but mine did not come with these scope caps, which really irritated the heck out of me. I don't understand that. It drives me nuts that gun didn't come, or that scope didn't come with scope caps. It actually came with the bikini, and I could have bought the Air Max and got the caps and spent half the money. But yeah, good functionality costs money, and people need to learn that. It's give and take. Yep, great guns cost great money. It is kind of true. I did shoot a Hudson Bull Boss that was tuned by Corey from Cornfields and Crosshairs. And let me tell you, his gun was amazing. He had a Huma regulator in it. It was incredibly quiet. The trigger was butter smooth. But he did a ton of work to that gun to get it to that point. And, you know, and so it's not to say that any of these guns can't be, you know, resolved of whatever slight issues that we run into. So, you know, it's just kind of one of those things, you know. Mike says he needs some advice from Joe. Yeah, are you talking about Cyclops Joe? Yeah, I agree. Most people do have to pay to have it tuned. You know, and just like anything else, I mean, for me, like, I tune my own guns, but I'm just one of those people, man, that exactly, Joe. I just figured it out. Like, I watched every YouTube video I could on how to take guns apart and how to not kill myself, and you know, just learned along the way. So, you know, yeah, I can tell you already, I love that Sidewinder. It is an incredibly accurate scope, and the reticle on it is perfect for doing HFT. Yeah, it's crazy. Love says Hudson with the QE barrel, and the Donnie FL Tonto is quiet as a mouse. Yeah, I actually thought about doing that, but the problem is it would make my Bull Boss so much longer than what I would want it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Externally adjustable airgun is a deal maker. I agree. And once again, that's why I bring up like the Air Arms Avenger. You know, people are getting incredible results with those Avengers. It's kind of crazy. Anonymous American, it's long. Laugh out loud. My Bull Boss would be if I put a Tonto on the end of it. But there's a reason too. You don't buy a Bull Boss because you want a full-length rifle. You buy a Bull Boss because you want a bullpup gun. And so, you know, you want it as compact as possible. You know, that's why I bought my Maverick in compact. You know, I wanted something that I can single sling around my neck, walk through the woods, and don't have to worry about my barrel getting bumped into everything and, you know, creating a lot of ruckus. Quick to, have I ever shot an Eagle Claw in 25? I have never shot one of those, believe it or not. And it's not that I'm not interested in it. You know, yeah, I mean, I look at my Bull Boss and I think this is a compact gun, right? I mean, semi-compact, but I mean, but you know, you put a Tonto off the end and now it's, you know, it's that long. So, you know, no longer is it light, and it's not a light gun. This is an incredibly, it's got a lot of weight to it. But, actually, to be honest with you, I think once I put a Huma regulator in that, it's going to quiet it down anyway. I mean, literally, Corey's Bull Boss that I shot, all you could hear was the pellet whistling downrange. It was unbelievably quiet. But, you know, it's an unregulated gun. I mean, you know, and they go for a lot of power. And, you know, so when you pull that trigger, you know, and you put a light pellet in it, I do like 0 dB. I do like 0 dB. And personally, I like them more just because of aesthetics. I think that they look more aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, the regulator will quiet them more because you're going to limit the amount of air that's rushing out of the end of the barrel. So just a good, you know, I mean, the QE barrel system has moderation built into it. So anyone ever had to shim a scope on a PCP? Negative. Right. Now I want to regulate my Invader. Yeah, my Invader has a lot of twang to it because of the hollow body, right? And you know, you kind of hear that stuff. But yeah, Tim, honestly, I've never had to shim a scope. I've seen lots of people that have had issues with scopes on some guns. I have a tendency to buy adjustable scope rings. So a lot of times, you know, like I will bottom my scope out and then turn it out a rotation and then shoot and then adjust my mounts to give me the MOA that I need, so that I can dial my scope from 25 to, I don't know, 200. So I personally, the scope rings that I like to use are the Eagle Vision rings. You know, they're very similar to the FX No Limits. I just like the Eagle Vision a little bit better, and for $10 more, they work really well for me. I don't think, yeah, these are Eagle Visions. So this has got Eagle Vision rings on it. And the rail's already got 20 MOA built into it. And then I've probably got another 10 MOA into the Eagle Vision. So my zero stop is only one rotation off the bottom of my element. So, yeah, I agree. Yeah, the twang is louder than the bang. It's the same thing with my Walther Rain. That's the same way. I even put sound deadening material inside my Walther Rain trying to quiet it down, and it's still twangy. So, still twangy. I do wish I would have got my Bull Boss in a wooden stock, though. Tim says adjustable rings are nice, but they're not in my VW budget. You know, you'd be surprised. There's actually some really good adjustable rings out on Amazon. I think they're, who are they made by? Something Hunter, Western Hunter or West Hunter. They actually make adjustable rings as well, and they're like $30. So you can absolutely buy VW rings. Carlos says, I ordered Eagle Vision for my Maverick when it comes. They seem to be more sturdy. Yeah, I agree. They are. They're, in my opinion, they're much better build quality than the FX. And I have 2 sets of FX rings, and I'm down to 2 sets. I'm trying to slowly weed them out. He says, I feel like scope rings are way overpriced. I would totally disagree with that. And I could do a whole video for a lot of time to prove you way wrong in that subject. Matter of fact, here's a perfect example. So when I bought my Hawk scope for my BSA, I picked up a set of Hawk rings in Dovetail. And the Hawk rings, the way that they're made and the way that they clamp together on the bottom, every time that I would tighten up the rings, it would shift the mount itself. It would cant it to one side or the other, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. I did everything I could. I mean, outside of remachine the clamps themselves. So I ended up, I had a set of FX No Limit rings here. I set those on there, and they are perfectly flush. So you got it, man. Yep. And you can actually, I already have one out there on mounting scopes, but I will show you guys in a video on the importance of a good scope ring. So if you guys, I can't really. So when the scope rings themselves clamp onto whatever you're putting them on, a poor set of rings can actually cause the mount itself to shift to one side or the other. And it generally comes in when you start to torque them down to their torque specs. And like I said, I actually had the Hawk scope rings on my BSA, and they canted. Every time that I would tighten them up, they would cant. So my level that I set on top of my scope rings to make sure that everything's level in line with the gun would come out of level every time that I would tighten them up. Set a set of FX No Limit rings on there, and they stayed perfectly flat the entire time. So can you make it work? Yep. But nope, not when it comes to scope rings. I try not to skimp too much. Don't get me wrong, I'm not out there spending $300 like some people. Yeah, and actually, I wanted to go with sports match mounts, but Tom didn't have any in stock, and I didn't feel like waiting. So I actually utilized a set of FX No Limit mounts that I already had here at my house in Dovetail, and just put those on there for now. But yeah, sports match rings are great rings to go with, and you can get into those for right around $40, $50. But you know, once again, it's in the eye of the beholder. It's all about what you consider as accurate and how much you want your gun to be accurate. So yeah, Anonymous American, I used to be the exact same way, and then I started realizing that, you know, when I mount a scope, I actually want it to be as level to the gun as I possibly can. And there's some great videos out there that you can check out on YouTube about the importance of having a level scope. And then not only that, but having a scope that is symmetrically, or that is square to the gun, as to where it's not offset, you know, where, you know, one, you know, bad set of rings can cause your scope to not cant, but be tweaked to one side or the other. And that can run into all kinds of problems when you're dialing, or when you're shooting your gun, and just having inconsistencies, and, you know, moving around on the rail, and just there's a whole science behind it. It's kind of crazy, and it took me a long time to realize the same thing, but that's all right, man. Listen, if you're having fun, have fun. That's all we're gonna say. If you want my opinion, I'll give it to you, but, you know, to each his own, man. Everybody's got their own. So The screw going through the bottom of the rings will not allow them to sit and grab the sides of the rail. You can back that screw out. And the reason that that screw's there is for some guns with major recoil or like Magnum brake barrels, that screw is to seat that into the hole on the Picatinny or the dovetail ring on your gun itself. So that way the rings don't move. It allows the scope to stay in a perfect fashion. So, but that screw, you can actually just take it out if you're just shooting like through a PCP or something like that, and or just back it all the way out. But Anonymous American says, I'm a simple man. Listen, brother, I feel you. Listen, I feel you. And like I said, to each his own, man. Listen, I'm sure that you and I would have an absolute riot shooting together. And I'm sure that you're going to be just as good of a shot as I am. So, scope level bubbles are cheap and easy. Except, I will say this. And one thing I've learned over the years is, like, for example, let me get this turned to where I am. So this is the Eagle Vision bubble level that screws into the Eagle Vision mounts. One thing I found on a couple of my Eagle Visions is they're not really that level. So you almost have to have an external level to do that with. And let me show you guys. Let me grab a set of scope rings. Sorry, I'll be right back. All right. I'll actually show you guys what I was talking about with the hawk rings. And actually, you can see right in the bottom of that one, it's actually got the stud that you screw through the other side to mount into your gun's barrel. But if you look, trying to get my fingers out of the way, when this comes together and it seats, it actually pushes up. See how that kind of like starts to shove up? That's where I was getting my cant. So every time that I would screw this in and then get it tight, it would pinch and it would roll. If you look, that side is not level like that side, and they're actually rounded as well. So that's where I was running into the issues with the canting of my scope rings. So even like a $25 set of rings, I mean, just in my opinion, it's just a waste of money. So no, it doesn't tighten it to the rail. Well, yes it does, but no it doesn't. I don't have a gun handy that doesn't have a scope on it. But on a lot of like brake barrels or powder burner guns, they'll actually have a hole on their rail where that pin will sink into. And it keeps that scope from moving the mount back and forth. So it's a recessed hole where that pin drops into, so that way it holds that scope ring. And I know what you're saying, because you could also look at it from that aspect that when you mount this to your rail, if you tighten that up, it'll do that. But here's the problem: it only comes on one ring, and it's because guns that have that recessed ring only have one ring. Yeah, your Origin might have one. Yeah. Anonymous American says he uses a magnetic level. I'm actually waiting for my digital level, the one that Utah Air came out with. They're sending me one to review, and I'm going to actually use it on my bench press gun. Yeah, there you go. A scope stop is on his Hudson brake barrels. That's right, because they're Magnum brake barrels, and they'll actually have that hole for that pin. Well, these are dovetail, but if they were Picatinny, you'd still have that same pin that'll drop down into that hole, and it'll stop that scope from excess shifting. So I was actually kind of freaking out a little bit because I was like, man, I don't have a brake barrel scope to put on my HW97. And then I started watching some video reviews, and I was like, I don't think it needs a brake barrel rated scope. There's like the recoil on those things is like next to nothing. Yeah, Tim, I agree. And actually, I've seen some guys that paint their own marks on their bubble levels. Yep. And I think Eagle Vision decided to make some updates to theirs because my tolerances on the Eagle Vision on this one are better than what they were on the previous models that I've had. So hats off to Eagle Vision. Well, we ate up about 40 minutes talking about scopes and mounting. Solo Air Gunner says he uses one-piece scope mounts. Yep, and they can be nice. They can be nice unless you have a gun that requires that access to that breech area. And then you can't really use a one-piece mount. And I'll tell you another mount that I have a lot of good luck with is the UTG mounts. I have a lot of UTG mounts. Yep. Yeah, my adult Red Ryder's sitting right over there. Yep, I feel you. You want to have a good time, that's the way it is. My wife, I think, did have a good Mother's Day. I tried to get her out of the house. I tried to take her out to the flower shop to buy her flowers, and she just wanted to hang out. Even if the rings can't you just straighten up the crosshairs on your scope? Well, you can, but the scope is still never going to be aligned properly to the barrel of your gun. What scope do I recommend for your Daystate Renegade? Man, dude, that's a we could have a 2-hour conversation on what scopes are best for what guns. I mean, budget's the first thing you have to ask yourself is what kind of budget do you have? I mean, one scope that I like a whole lot is my Aztec scopes. I love Aztec scopes. I love my Athlon scopes. I love my Element scopes. Monstrum makes a decent scope. I wouldn't put it on Daystate, but I've got Monstrum scopes, and $400. I mean, honestly, if you don't care about illumination, I mean, Helix is a great scope to go with. But you can get some really good secondhand Athlons, or even Aztec scopes. MTC makes some great scopes. Hawk makes some amazing scopes in the $400 range. You can get a nice Air Max for relatively decent, but then you're talking, do you want first or second focal plane? So most scopes that I would put on a Daystate for $400, it'd have to be a second focal plane. Vortex scopes are awesome. Well, I don't know if I'd say awesome. They're decent scopes. I wouldn't throw one out of bed for eating crackers. But there's a lot of other questions as well. Like, for example, this is a MOA scope. And if you look on the box cover, well, the reticle is actually on this end. Let's see if I can get that close enough. Oh, it's not going to focus. But I prefer dots in my scopes. Like, for example, this Helix is a first focal plane scope, and the center of the reticle is a dot, not a crosshair. I prefer dots, not crosshairs. My Titan is the same way. So, yeah, good for the money. Yep, for sure. Good for the money. So I've never really been a huge scope snob. I mean, my Element Titan is probably the most expensive scope that I have. But the glass on it is out freaking standing. And I mean, even that Hawk that I just bought, that Sidewinder, the glass on that thing is just superb. It is absolutely phenomenal glass. You know, when you look through an optic and all the outside of the scope just disappears and that glass is just everything that your eye sees, it's night and day, man. It's like a good trigger or a nice quiet gun. You put all three of those together, and you just know that you made it. You know that you're there. Anonymous American said, my favorite is MOA scope reticles, but that's the military in me. Right, mil spec, mil radians. I prefer mil radians. It's easier for me to deal in tens than it is in other mathematical equations. My Hawk scope prices went up. Did it for you? I got a pretty decent deal on my Hawk Sidewinder. But yeah, they are. The bearded airgunner's in the house. What's going on, man? I want another ACOG, though. I know I can hit it all day with one of those. Tim says, I've had good luck with the $60 T-Wad scopes from Amazon on my PCPs. Element next for me. Yeah, and I'll be honest, I like the Helix a lot. It's a good, clean glass. But, man, the only thing I think they should have added to the Helix for the money is it should have been illuminated. And that's, I ended up going with my Titan and illumination, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Personally, I don't know why anybody would buy a Nexus unless you're just worried about weight. Peter says he has a Hawk on his AEA Bullpup Challenger. Yep. I've actually, what did I put on that? Oh, I've got a Monstrum first focal plane on my AEA Challenger and 25 cal. Just saw the new Gauntlet, pretty sick. Yep, definitely. Personally, I think it looks good. I mean, I can see myself shooting one, maybe. I'm in the brake barrel phase right now, though. Like, I've got the next brake barrel is going to be the TX200. Not really. Not really, Ben. I don't really. It's not that I haven't thought about it, but no. I mean, this is about as close to an LPVO LPVO as I get, and that's just a Monstrum prism scope. I've thought about it. I thought about getting one for like messing around with my Invader, but I actually have one of these prism scopes on my Invader, and it's all I pretty much need. Which Bushnell do you have? Just out of curiosity, Roy. I mean, honestly, I haven't bought a Bushnell, and I couldn't even tell you how long. Yeah, there you go. The West Hunter. Yeah, and I've actually looked at the West Hunter, man. Like I said, their scope rings, man. They actually make a set of adjustable scope rings as well, man. They're pretty yeah, steady one. I hear you. I have an Optizon on my Texan, and that Optizon is a nice scope, a very nice scope. I don't even know if my wife's in this one. Honey, are you in here? I'm pretty sure I've been paying attention to the chat. Yeah, her little skull toppers are awesome. Roy, I think your package just got all. Oh, Airguns and Air. She is here. I never even saw her come in. I'm sorry, honey. I didn't mean to ignore you. Joe said right around 8:34 she came in. Yep. Oh man, how fast an hour went by, guys. Good Lord. Good Lord. Well, I definitely appreciate you guys all joining in. And once again, if you guys have not signed up for the Accelicon giveaway, make sure that you guys do. Don't wait till the last minute and then forget. Somebody is going to win a very nice Accelicon MX7S. Sweet. I appreciate it, Bearded Air Gunner. Helix is $4.99 in my backyard, cheaper than a Hawk of same mag. You know, you can get. Thanks, Ben. You can actually get a pretty nice Air Max for about the same price, in the same magnification. You can get an Air Max for, I want to say, well, then again, we're not talking Canada. We're talking American, but you know, at least you get illumination. So it's really up to you, to be honest with you. I mean, I've never owned an Air Max, but you know, I've only got a Sidewinder, so I don't have anything to, you know. Oh yeah, and if anybody made or wants a straw topper, the Skull straw topper, besides Roy, Brandy is the one to talk to about that. Tasco, Simmons, and Bushnell are all the same company now. You know, Peter, I think you're right. Let me look at my emails. I think you are or were the very first person. Nope. You were the third person. You were the third person. My wife says she needs to change her name, then maybe he'd notice. Well, my wife's still using her maiden name on YouTube, so that's probably half the reason. See, honey, I'm not paying attention to other women. I didn't see my last name, so I just kept on going. Besides Roy. Dude, I'm always in trouble with my wife, so it is what it is. I try to be a good husband, but that only goes as far as it goes. But I know that Wednesday we're going to have JC from Airgun Detectives on here live. I hope you guys will tune in for that. JC is a great guy. Him and we talk all the time. And he was one of the inspirations for me starting my YouTube channel, along with like Shooter 1721, 68 Whiskey, and Up North Airgunner, as well as Cyclops Joe. All those guys were just, they played a big part in me wanting to start my own airgun channel. And Tim, I'd like to congratulate the winner now, because Lord knows it ain't going to be me. Well, it very well could be, Tim. Everybody has the same amount of chance to win. You got a 1 in 10,000 shot at winning. And actually, you probably got less than that. Right now, I think there's roughly 40 people that have entered in for the giveaway, which is unbelievable to me. I don't understand why, Roy says, don't feel bad. I get into trouble when it's hot or cold in the house. Like she doesn't know where the thermostat is. Right. That's pretty funny. Joe says, thanks, Tim. Yeah, I haven't even heard back from the guy who won the Cattleman. He emailed me and said, hey, thanks, man. Here's my address. But never got another reply back like, hey, man, I really enjoy it. Thanks for sending it. I mean, I don't know. For all I know, the guy doesn't even know the compressor and can't even pump it up. So I don't know. But I definitely need to spread the word about the AccelCon, and we should be getting more and more people. Still trying to work out the details for Christmas, but Christmas would be pretty freaking wicked if I can get away with giving away an FX airgun. Lou says he likes to look at the Magfire and the Bone Collector. I was first name on that giveaway. Yeah, definitely don't like it hot. Tim, it could be just me and another guy and I'd lose. Yeah, Joe. Yes, you did. Yeah, Joe's name was actually the first name drawn for the Umarex Origin, and he was not present. And this one, you don't have to be present to win. I'll let you guys know. But it was crazy. John Hawk, what's going on, man? What's going on? But with that being said, let's see. A day late and $1 short. Roy, it's really simple. Go into my YouTube channel, and about 3 posts ago, I posted on the giveaway, and all the details are in the description of the video, my friend. All the details are in the description. Speedfire is Hodson, and the Magfire is Crossman, I think, says G-Man. I would agree with that. But with that being said, guys, it is 9:45. We've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes and 30 seconds right now. So we're going to end tonight, and I will be back tomorrow night. And absolutely, Joe, perfect, man. Be good to each other, man. And God bless you all, and be safe. And we will see you live again tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So take care, and I will talk to you guys all